actually look at the article, very quickly, a few things about the reading. It takes about 50 minutes. You will usually be given 2 articles. We will just do 1 tonight, okay? But you'll usually get 2. Again, they're from a university class usually. And you should be answering as you're reading, okay? Don't take the article and try and read it all and then go and do the questions. You don't have time to do that, okay? Again, it'll be the same topic. So we just listened to something about brain chemistry. We're going to read an article also about brain chemistry. When you're doing the reading, again, read the questions first before you start. This will really help with your speed, okay? Again, highlight or circle important keywords. You'll notice that in the reading, question 1 is here. Question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5. It follows a sequence. So it's easier to find the information. It also uses a lot of the same words in the questions and in the article. So if you've written the IELTS exam, you know that often they use synonyms. They don't do that as much on the Cael. So if they say, what is a neuron in the article, they'll say a neuron is. They won't use a synonym. So it's a little bit easier to find the answers, which is a good thing. Don't try and read and understand everything in the article. You don't have time. They don't want you to take the article out and read every paragraph. What you're going to do is you're going to scan. You're going to find your keyword and you're going to scan. When you find the keyword, you stop. Read that paragraph only, okay? And you can use point form or keywords in your answers again. It doesn't matter. Spelling and grammar aren't that important. Also, be thinking about your essay question, which we're going to do next week, so don't worry about that tonight. Okay, so our practice test. This is the article here. So does everyone have the biology of personality? Okay. Before we read this, let's look at the questions and let's identify what are the key words, what are the important things. Okay, so question number 1. What is the main idea of the article? What's our keyword?
Main idea.
Good, main idea. So I'll highlight or circle or underline that. Where do we usually find the main idea? Title or introductory paragraph, okay? You should be able to find it there if the article is a good article. Number 2, this question is very common on the Cael exam. Where do you think this article comes from? They'll give you a choice: newspaper, academic journal, brochure, in a doctor's office, or a magazine. If this is from a university class, where would you guess it comes from? Yes, that's usually the correct answer. The articles are usually from an academic journal, if you get this question, okay? Question number 3. What factors, other than early experiences, might contribute to the development of a personality disorder? Keywords are good. Factors. And we're looking for more than one. And good. Contribute to the development of a
personality.
Yeah, personality disorder. So when we're scanning, we'll look for these words, factors or personality disorder. When we find them, we'll stop and we'll read. Okay? Question 4. What 2 technologies can now allow us to understand how mechanisms in the brain determine differences in personality? Good. 2 technologies. And good. Differences in personality. Excellent. Whenever you see 2 technologies or 2 of something, your mind should right away think of the words and or a comma or an also, or an in addition. So they may not say the two technologies are. They might say one technology is blah, 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 blah. In addition, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you have to think of the words like and the commas and also. Those are words that you might want to look for. Question number 5. Why is it useful to understand some of the biological vulnerabilities someone might have to a particular personality trait? Why? Good. So we are looking for a reason. And how many points is this question out of? 2. 2. So we probably need to find 2 reasons. Good. And we are looking for personality trait would be another word you could look for. Biological vulnerability would be another word that you could look for. Okay, biological vulnerability and personality trait. Number 6. Complete the chart by providing the relevant information in the blanks. So this is an easy one. You can get all of the answers here because they give you a lot of hints. All right. The keywords you want to look for: trait, impulsivity, emotional reactivity or sensitivity, eccentricity, problems in brain chemistry, behavior, personality. Okay. So any of the words that are down here, look for those, and you'll see them in the reading. Okay, so this chart is an easy one to get lots of marks on. Question 7 is similar. So question 7 says, decide how doctors determine the levels of neurotransmitters in a patient for each personality disorder. So again, we're talking about neurotransmitters and personality. That's the same as question 6. The difference here is the third column. It says methods used for measuring. So when you're reading, look for the word method or look for the word measure. Okay, that will help you. Okay, so take out your article and we'll do questions 1, 2, and 3 together. Then you guys can work on this a bit yourself. If you want to work alone, you can. If you want to work with other students, you can. And then we'll go through the answers together. But number 1, don't read the whole thing. We said that it would either be in the title or it would be in the introductory paragraph. So take a look at the title and take a look at the introductory paragraph and see if you can decide what is the main idea. Good. Personality is part of the main idea. What are they telling us about personalities in the first paragraph? Okay, different types of personalities. Yeah. Yeah, biological factors play a role. Keep reading to the last part of paragraph 1. New drug treatment. See, look at the last sentence. That's right. There are new drug treatments for personality disorders. That's the main idea. If you read the introduction and you're not sure what the main idea is, skip this question. Do the other questions first. Because after you answer all of the other questions, you'll probably know, oh, the main idea was about drugs and treatments for personality disorder. But that last sentence, drug treatments, for personality disorder. That is the answer. You can always paraphrase and put this into your own words. That's fine. Okay, you don't have to copy directly from the reading. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. You can put it in your own language if you want. Number 2, where do you think this article comes from? We already talked about this. It's probably an academic journal. If you look in that introductory paragraph, it says, as reported by Dr. Larry J. Sieber in The Frontiers of Pharmacology. So the place where they got this article was a journal called The Frontiers of Pharmacology. Does that sound like a book that you would buy as a magazine? No, right? And Frontiers of Pharmacology would be something very scientific. In your doctor's office, if they have a small brochure for you, it's probably going to be something in plain language, like what you need to know about pharmacy, not a name like this. So the correct answer for number 2 is an academic journal. Number 3, we're looking for the factors other than early experiences that might contribute to the development of a personality disorder. So start scanning, look for the word factor, and look for the word personality. Good. What paragraph did you find it in? Paragraph 2. Very good. Okay? So now that you've found the word, stop and look more closely at this paragraph. So we want to know 2 factors. Excellent. Genetic and biological. And the key was the word N, right? There was an N in there. Very good. So that's all you have to write down. Genetic, biological. Okay, so spend a little bit of time. They would usually give you 30 minutes to do this. We'll, in about 15 minutes, stop and start going through the answers together. But see how you do. If you want to work alone, go ahead. If you want to work with other students, feel free to talk, okay? And if you can't find something, put your hand up and I'll come over and I'll give you a hint as to what paragraph to look at. Okay. one, skip to the next question, and also go down farther in the article. Now, ladies, any you want hints for? Okay, so back to yeah. Good. So the keywords of first look for is implicit. When you find that, then look for what is the problem you're working on. Good. So you'll see here we've got that one, and then we've also got emotional reactivity. And this word. So that's the third trait. Yeah. And then go down to the next paragraph and look to see if you can find any problems. Yeah. How do you guys do? Do you need any clues so far? So far, okay? Good. Yes. There are two answers, and you're right. One of them is this part that you've underlined. See this right here? It also, so this tells us that one of the answers was before. So we have to look back and look at the last sentence of paragraph 5, and that's where you'll find the second answer. So far? Okay, so far? Good. Here, he has the word impulsive. Now the problem is between that word and this word. Whenever you see quotations like that, you can just copy everything that's in the middle of them. That's going to be the answer this time. Yeah. the answers together. Don't worry if you're not finished. You would still have more time. That was only 15 minutes, okay? So, back to question number... Question 4. What two technologies can now allow us to understand how mechanisms in the brain determine differences in personality? What paragraph is the answer in? 4. 4. Very good. Everyone got that? Yeah. So your two technologies are here and here. And these are the same words in the paragraph, right? New tools to probe brain chemicals. As well as. That's your clue that here's the second one. Okay, and this is in paragraph 4. Question 5. Where's the answer? Paragraph 6. You're both right. Paragraph 5 and paragraph 6. Go to paragraph 6 first. So our question, it asks us, why is it useful to understand some of the biological vulnerabilities someone might have to a particular personality trait? Paragraph 6, what's the first sentence? Understanding the biological basis for personality. Same words, right? Mm-hmm. Also helps researchers to identify and create medication. That's one thing it does. And how do we know this? Because of also. What does also mean? Good. It means that the other answer came before this sentence. So you need to go back and look at the end of paragraph 5. So the end of paragraph 5, it says that it helps scientists to discover how they relate to personality and its disorders. Okay, so the last part of paragraph 5 and the first part of paragraph 6. Those are the two answers for number 5. Any questions about those ones? No? Okay. Number 6, this is the chart. So, where can you find the problem in brain chemistry? Paragraph 8. And our answer is abnormalities in one of the brain's messenger systems in the release and uptake of serotonin. Okay, it's copied from paragraph 8. It's also in quotations. Okay? So it's something that is in quotations. Put the whole thing down. The whole answer is important. The next one, where we're talking about emotional reactivity, what is the behavior of personality? Where can we find that? 9. Good. Paragraph 9. And paragraph 9, towards the end of paragraph 9, it says that they may be more likely to be risk takers, overreactive to their environment, and irritable, okay? Any order is fine. If you have irritable before, that's fine, okay? The white box at the bottom, what is the third trait? Good. It's in paragraph 10, and it's called eccentricity. Okay? That's the third trait. And what is the problem in brain chemistry for eccentricity? We can also find that in paragraph 10. The problem is an increase in a brain chemical called dopamine. Does everyone see that one? Middle of the paragraph. The last part, the behavior or personality for eccentricity. This is also in paragraph 10. So they appear odd or strange. They experience reality in a peculiar fashion. So you'll see the word suspicious they've given you, and that is also in the paragraph 10. So you know that that's what they're talking about problems. Okay. Any questions about number 6? Those of you who had time to do this one, Did you find it easy to find the answers for the chart? It was okay once you found the right part of the article? Yeah. Okay, next question. Again, another chart. Number 7, we're describing how doctors determine the levels of neurotransmitters in a patient for each of the personality disorders. So the key word here was measure. If you could find a measure, you would find the answers. For serotonin and impulsivity, where's the answer? What paragraph? Good. Someone has time to find it. Very good. Look at paragraph 12. It starts on the bottom of the page, for example. Continue reading up at the top, and it's towards the end. It starts with by measuring. Can everyone see measuring? Okay, there you go. So that's your key word. By measuring levels of prolactin in blood samples taken before and after fenfluramine is given. That is what they are doing as the method. Okay? Again, we're going to look for the word measure to find the next answer. So this time we're looking for reactivity. Did anyone find which paragraph this one was in? 14. Very good. Okay? It's also in 13. You'll see the word no repenin, and that is in paragraph 13 and 14. So in paragraph 13, once you find one of the words, look for measure. If you can't find it, go to the next paragraph. So in paragraph 14, you will see both the word measure and you'll see the word that they give you on the chart. Can everyone find measure in paragraph 14? Yeah, so measure levels of growth hormones in blood samples taken before and after clonidine is administered. Okay, and the last part of 7. This one they don't actually use the word measure. It's a little bit more difficult to find this one. They do use the words eccentric and dopamine though. Anyone know what paragraph this is in? 16. Look at paragraph 16. It says the results of the research with WCST illustrate that eccentric personalities improve their performance after their levels of dopamine have increased with the help of amphetamines. So they don't use the word measure, but what is the method being used? They are measuring patients with something called the WCST, which stands for the name of a test. If you wrote the name of the test out, that's okay as well. So this one's a little trickier to find, but it's in the last paragraph there. Any questions that you want to ask about this reading? This one here. So on the reading, you'll see that it starts with their performance. That's in paragraph 16. The WCST is what they're looking for. How do they measure it? They measure it using this test. So you won't actually see measure in the paragraph, but they're looking for you to say the WCST test. Good. Any other questions you want to ask about the reading? So really the reading is about being able to identify keywords and find keywords. Okay? If I asked you to tell me what this article is about, could you tell me? No, right? But do you need to tell me? No. So that is how they do the Cael exam. They're not going to ask you, summarize the article at 150 words. They won't do that, okay? It's look at the keywords, find the keywords in the article, write down the answer. That's the strategy to use when you're doing the Cael exam.